art should be there to tell a story, not just to have a splash of colour.
Well, Suzanne likes some art. Just like Suzanne's not allowed to watch telly unless it's a favourite thing. Otherwise, she's got to talk to me about stuff. There's no art. There's no point. Just wallpaper.
I'm just saying, we've got three windows we can look out of.
Right.
Right? Stop looking at the walls, look out the window.
My mum phoned and said that my Auntie Nora, the classic Auntie Nora, wanted me to look on the internet to find out what the weather would be like in Spain at the end of November. I don't know where she gets her money from. 2 months ago, she was asking me dad how much it would be to get her back garden astroturfed because she's sick and tired of the grass getting out of
What does she want to do? Start a football team? What does she want a back garden astroturf?
She likes the sort of green look, but she doesn't like the headache that comes with it, so she's just looking into getting that false grass put in there.
Brilliant.
Don't know how much it is. But.
Went round to Ricky's and had some chicken curry that Ricky's girlfriend Jane had made. Ricky and Jane were going on holiday for a few days and had arranged for Glyn to come in and make sure the cat was okay while they were away. I'm sick of that cat. I was surprised that they hadn't paid for the little shit to go away with them on first class. Blimey, getting a bit vitriolic in the diary.
Why doesn't he like the fact that I've got a cat and I love the cat? Why?
It's just everything in that house that you've got gets sort of special treatment, and it's a cat. And it
what do you mean you get
me.
special treatment?
Sometimes
we put food down for it, and sometimes it gets on our lap and we stroke it.
You don't just stroke it.
We're
you
not
massage it. You massage its back. You go, "No, you're stressed out."
Well, no, it's good. No, I'm not saying you stressed out. At no point did I say you stressed out. You said, "What the fuck are you doing for? Is it stressed out or something?" I like touching my cat.
To be honest with you, I don't like Ricky's cat.
Oh, I can't believe
because every time I go around there, it comes straight from the coolies.
But it's like the lizard thing you've got. It's just sat there. You've bought a big box, right, to be in.
Right, it's a salamander, right. So it's an amphibian. It's not a box, it's a big vivarium.
Yeah, but what I'm saying
and
is...
And if you're going to criticise someone for just sitting there, having a round head and doing nothing with its life, people who live in glass houses, we've done this one.
Do you know what gets me though, right, Steve? When I was there, I was looking at it, and I thought, is it dead? Right, because he's just sat there. Like,
and it was thinking exactly the same fucking thing.
Sat there, not moving, right? And then on the top of the box is like a box full of crickets and stuff. That's it. It's food.
Yeah.
Right? But they were more active than the thing that it was going to feed. Get rid of the lizards. Keep them in there. More entertaining. Don't understand it.
A few months back, a girl who was having a kid showed me one of them scans of the kid that was in her. That's science gone mad, innit? I couldn't think of anything nice to say, as it looked like a frog.
Do you know why we've got to that point? What? Why have we got to see something that young? Why?
Because people can keep an eye on the progress of the baby in the womb.
Yeah, but why are they printing it out and stuff? Surely that's for a doctor to see.
Well, that's just an added bonus for people who are interested in such things.
That's like saying, why do you take pictures of anything?
No, but what I mean is, why... At what point are we going to stop? Are we going to start sort of x-raying the fella's testicles and saying, well, there it is at a really young age? Well, where are we going to stop?
It's just horses for courses, isn't it? Some people like to have a record of their baby in the womb. They like to show their baby. They're excited about it.
They sit down and they show the friends the slideshow. That's the birth. Oh, that's the conception. Oh, look, Ron's going a bit mad there, isn't he?
But why do I need to see this? This is what I'm saying. It was an awkward situation because she was happy with it. I was like, oh, God. You know what I mean? It was an odd-looking thing. I couldn't say, oh, it looks like you, because that would be a diss. Speaking of flies, though, and that, they've got one, right? I was out with Ricky, and he was reading the paper. There was a story there about a fly that its eyesight was bad or something, and they've made it a pair of glasses, and it had a picture of a housefly wearing...
Okay, this is incredible, Steve. Can I take over?
Hang on, let me just need to finish a couple of questions for that. So there's a small fly, and they've made it a pair of glasses, so that it can see better.
Yeah.
And your concern is what?
Well, again, it's just that thing of we're looking after everything now, aren't we?
Sorry, I've got to come in here, Steve.
All right.
I showed you the story.
You saw it.
It was a picture of a housefly with a pair of glasses
on. Yeah.
Right. It was about a one-sentence thing. It was about how far technology's come.
Yeah.
And a group of scientists using microscopy, right, and laser tools had as an exhibition, shown that they could make a pair of glasses smaller to fit on a hat. They've put it on there and they've taken a picture of it, and it's on display. At no point was it actually, because the fly had bad eyesight, the fly was presumably dead, it was purely an art installation, or a show of technology.
I thought you were going to say, Rick, that you'd drawn the glasses on there.
Yeah.
And he believed it like, there's a bearded lady in this paper. No. My God, Tony Blair looks like Adolf Hitler. No.
What do you think of that, though?
But they did
Well,
it as an
flies out.
experiment.
Yeah, but all things start as an
But
experiment.
why would they make a pair of glasses for a fly?
How would they know he had bad eyesight?
How would they know it was the same fly?
Bumping into stuff? I don't know.
Bumping into stuff.
It's just that thing, innit, of human nature is something's wrong with something, let's fix it. And they try and help people out all the time, don't they? When you know, we're always doing it. We're always trying to help people out instead of just going, you've been dealt a duff card, cope with it. Came up with a good idea.
We'll be the judge of that.
I'll do it now. It's not a good idea.
Okay.
Okay. I'm sticking my neck out here. I think this isn't going to be a good idea.
Okay.
Thoughts?
Well, I'm going to agree with you. I'm going to second that motion.
Okay, let's see. Let's see if we're both right.
See-through skin.
High five, Rick!
Why are they hanging about round there? Why aren't seals going, do you know what, it's cold, I'm sick of it here. It's windy all the time, what have you, and I'm getting a club on the head. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because they're meant to be quite bright in terms of animals and that, aren't they?
Yeah.
So why are they knocking about them parts?
I don't know.
Say, like, if seals died out, right? Would that be a problem?
We've done this.
We've been through this before, Carl.
Everything has a knock-on effect.
Even a seal? That's sort of in between something already. It's between a fish and a dog, innit?
I knew you were going to say dog.
It's not between a fish and a dog. What do you think evolution does? Fish to
I'll never
dog.
understand it. Maybe we
What do
shouldn't
you
talk
mean
about it.
it's between a fish and a dog?
I'm just saying it's.
It was a perfectly evolved mammal that re-entered the water, I imagine, and then got streamlined and... I mean, it's between a fish and a dog.
But why not have one and the other? Why not have, like, you know, you've got a dog, you've got a fish.
No, it's not
anything in the
between a
middle.
fish and a dog. It's not between a fish and a dog. I don't know what between means. I don't know what...
This is it again about saving everything all the time. What is it doing? What's it doing? Everyone's feeling sorry for him all the time. Save the seal and all that. What's it doing? Why are we saving it? Let's just ask that question. What's it doing?
I don't know what to say. It's between a fish and a dog. Problem, wouldn't it?
We're changing everything all the time, aren't we? I mean, there's some fella who was looking at it on the internet. Identical twins, right? They were sort of sick of looking like each other. So they were like, what can we do, right? And one of the twins said, you have my arm, right? And he had his arm taken off and stuck on his twin, so his twin's got like 3 arms.
No, it's not true.
It's on the website.
No, it's not true.
What, for a laugh? They were born, so they did that for a laugh.
just like-
What doctor's doing this then?
Well, they're old enough to sort of say this is what we want, and
No. Doctors don't go, well, if he wants another arm, and I'll take it. They don't. Doctors don't do that. What sort of practice is this doctor going around and go?
Dr. Jekyll.
I mean, Carl, think of what you're saying.
but with-
where would he have stopped? Can you put his head on my knee? It's up to you.
No, but
Sign this. If you sign this, you give my consent.
but we, you know, it isn't
What do you think these doctors are doing?
just to do as they're told.
They don't do as they're told.
They do if someone wants it, and twins sort of, it can get you down, can't it? Being a twin, because it's like,
Sorry, what would this solve though? I thought you said he gave one of them a bigger nose or a beard or 2 front teeth to make them look different, right? Not. I'll tell you what we could do. Go on. Would you like 1 arm? Go on. What are you thinking? Well, me 3, you 1. Therefore, not twins.
Novelty.
I mean, you are a mental man.
but they can do it now, can't they? There's no sort of, there's no line drawn anymore. They don't go, you're crazy, we're not going to do that.
Yeah, in Saw 2, not in the real world.
No,
they
but-
don't do things like
All
this.
right, there's another bloke, right? I don't know the sort of full ins and outs of it,
Go on, you surprised me.
but what he asked for, something happened to his tackle. Right?
It's penis.
Yeah, right. So he was at the doctor's, and they were like, "Oh, what can you do for me? It's a bit embarrassing. I've got nothing down there." Right. So they were like looking at it, going, "Yeah." Doctor, I don't know if he started like rubbing his chin with his finger or something. Looked down. He's thinking, got an idea. You know, you've got a lot of fingers. How many of them do you use? The patient's like, yeah, I see what you're thinking. They cut off one of his fingers, sewn that on to where his tackle is. He's happy.
Well, that's different though, isn't it? That's where they've
really
taken
different.
tissue. No, but I assume they fashioned it into more of a knob than a finger.
If you were doing that, use a sausage. I mean, why lose a finger?
Well, I'll tell you why. Because your finger has your tissue, your blood type, and therefore would graft near your testicles. A sausage is a thing that's made by a butcher out of offal, okay, that really can't be grafted onto any part of the human body. That's why they very rarely use any meat products in surgery. I know, yeah. I mean, why not use a sausage? You're a mental case.
Scorpio Rising, Death in Vegas on XFM 104.9, Steve. I'm Ricky Gervais. Carl's a little bit less stressed now. The camera crew have gone, his dad's not listening, we think.
Well, yeah, who knows? Who knows?
But, you're chilled.
I tell you what though, my mum was loving it. Do you know Rockbusters?
Do I know Rockbusters? I love Rockbusters. I think I dream of it.
She was taking part. I mean, she doesn't know a lot of the new bands and that, but she made some up for some older bands and that.
Oh, she did some herself?
She made some herself, sent them in the post.
So are you going to use those today?
She's not quite got the hang of it.
Okay.
Unlike her genius son.
Have you got them there? Can we hear what they are?
You keep talking a second then.
I'm quite excited. I mean, if they're even approaching, say, the genius of Wet Knee Houston.
Yeah.
There was another one which was something to do with a trench, Carl. What was that?
Oh, that was Dandy Warhols. That was a good one.
Dandy Warhols.
I think that was his finest moment. Yeah.
Incidentally, I've got an email here from someone called Sal. I don't know if that's a he or a she, but let's assume it's a she, just for glam's sake.
Yeah.
She said she saw an old man eating a Twix last week, Carl, so that blows your theory at all.
I'm not having it.
Okay. So if you are a bloke, he's calling you a liar, so maybe you want a little rumble later?
In fact, if you are a bloke, he's calling you a girl.
Yeah, exactly.
Right. Yeah, then. These are ones that my mum's made up.
Brilliant.
Right, just in case you're a new listener, I'll give some initials out and a cryptic clue. And it makes up a band, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Or a solo artist.
Not so much cryptic as what you're thinking. Go on.
My mum sent this one. This group would be good at doing your hair.
This group would be good at doing your hair.
TP.
Is there a group called the Hairdressers from the 60s?
This group would be good at doing your hair. TP. Is it the something?
The Platters.
Platters.
Yeah, that's right.
That's alright.
Nice.
Let's have a look. This group sound like dinosaurs.
Group sound like dinosaurs.
T-Rex.
T-Rex.
Yeah, I see what you mean. They're not so much cryptic, are they?
This group.
Leave her alone. They're good.
This group likes being by the sand and the sea.
This group likes being.
Are they the Beach Boys?
Beach Boys.
This band are called the Beatles. The Beatles.
Hang on. We just have
What else you got?
It's funny because one of them that she's done, I'm actually doing today. I thought of in the week.
Right?
So,
is it the same clip?
It was, yeah.
Wow,
But
great minds think alike.
Here's
So
the
this is
last one.
obviously coincidence.
Here's the last one from her. This guy sounds superb.
This guy sounds superb.
The Bachelors.
Glenn Campbell.
That's good. I like that.
I'd say this. I think you should get onto one of the big game organisations, Parker Brothers or whatever, because this has got to be. I mean, this could sweep the nation at Christmas. Don't you think this is the perfect Christmas game?
Yeah.
Well, I think this is what's going to make or break the MTV thing.
Right. Some kind of TV version.
Yeah. I'm just thinking into ad breaks. You know, coming up next is this band.
Be careful though, Carl, because, you know, make sure you retain the rights, because I can see this selling abroad. You know, you could
and I can see someone coming along and taking this sort of like the Rockbusters and changing one word and like another game out of it and just using the same format. I don't know. I can't think of them there, but they could change. So
sort of like
they've changed the word rock to something else and have it.
What could it be? Brick block?
Yeah, and so you have to, you know what I mean? So be careful.
Blockbusters will never work.
Look at his little face.
So we're doing that later. Got some good prizes.
Okay. We'll talk about the prizes after.
That in a bit.
Yeah.
educating Ricky.
Yeah, got that.
We've got the woman who's got a ghost in her house.
Yeah. It's a shame she's not here live, because I feel like I want to ask a few questions, Rick. I don't know about you.
Don't worry, I've covered it all.
You've covered it all. God.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, play a record.
Rick, I know probably you, like me, are just too busy really to keep abreast of new music, aren't you?
Yeah.
We're busy people, we've got, you know, important showbiz parties to go to and stuff. That's why I have friends of mine who send me compilations and stuff. That's one of my quarterly compilations from my friend Harry, and that's All Downhill From Here by Jim O'Rourke.
I've got a new track coming up later, actually, that I think you might like. So, you know, we're inflaming each other's desire for new songs as well as going back to the back catalogue of some classics.
Sure.
Alright? I love adverts better though.
I do.
I love adverts.
It's weird.
Missy Elliott on XFM 104.9, Ricky Gervais with me, Steve and Carl. Carl, why have you got a headache? You got a headache?
just a bit stressful because the moves on this week.
Are you leaving house?
Oh, by the way, the XFM listeners came round to my house and bought the futon and table.
Did they?
Were they happy with it?
Quite normal. They were well happy.
Yeah.
Couldn't believe the luck with it.
What do you mean quite normal? What do you mean quite normal?
Well, it's always a bit scared, isn't it, getting people round.
I imagine they were scared.
Well,
And were they excited to see you? Could they, I mean, they were, you know, could you tell that they were pretty pleased to see you?
no, I don't think so. I mean, you know,
You're
but-
Carl Pilkington.
yeah, but the fellas sort of, I mean, they brought the whole family round, which was a bit odd.
Well, it's not often they get the chance to visit a living freak.
Anyway, no, they were nice. They
And
were
you're
nice.
moving now, yeah? He said he phoned me up today. You know, it was absolutely tipping it down. Right? He had to cycle in. Right? Because he said, because of the move, he doesn't want to leave his bike round there. Right? And he said, and Suzanne, oh, I can't say this in case he's listening, can I?
He won't know. will he?
He said Suzanne's hired the oldest removal man in London.
You should hear him. And the thing is, right, we booked him because everyone else happened to be booked out, but this fella's free, right? So he called up this morning. I've never spoke to him, but he was on the phone. He sounded about 90.
Yeah.
Carl thinks that he's going to have to do all the work.
And the thing is, right,
Cheap.
it seems
He
to be
only
cheap.
wanted some Werther originals.
Yeah.
Right, listen, it seemed to be cheap because it's £50 an hour. But how long is it going to take him?
Yeah.
Oh, that's
So-
genius.
When's the move on then? When's the
Oh, right, he's coming round. He came round today to bring some empty boxes, and he was struggling with them. So it actually happens on Wednesday.
Oh, God.
Anyway, so
Rick, I noticed that you were laughing and almost had a heart attack. Doesn't bode well for the boxing match, does
I've
it?
got a cough at the moment, haven't I? I've had my lemsip.
Anyway, what are we doing now, Carl?
well, I teased you with it before.
Are you going to get it out again?
I'm always like trying to get you, you know, thinking, opening your mind up a bit to ghosts and stuff.
Yes.
So this woman who I know, she said she'd come in and I could interview her to try and sort of, you know, get the belief out there.
Okay.
So
Yeah,
I
'cause
thought
there's not enough belief in the occult and rubbish out there.
So does she think she has a ghost?
she has, yeah, she's
got a
had a
She has, no, it's fact.
Yeah, no,
It's fact,
sure.
yeah, she has.
So I thought maybe it's a new feature we could try for a couple of weeks, see how it goes down. You know Parkinson.
Uh-huh.
What about Pilkington? Welcome to Pilkington.
Thank you.
My guest today is Taryn. She's a plugger. You're still a plugger, right?
No, do co-management.
Right,
now.
she does co-management, but she was a plugger. She looks after Therapy, Raging Speed On, Slash, all the big names, yeah? But we're not here to talk about music today. We do a lot of that on XFM. Today we're talking ghosts. Now, Ricky and Steve, who I do the show with, they're not having any of it. So I said, well, I know someone who, you know, gets on with ghosts. There's a lot of them. So I thought I'd get you in today, have a little chat for a couple of minutes, just to sum up the story so they get an idea of what happened. You had a horse, yeah? You had it in some stables.
Yes.
He hasn't let her speak yet.
You went to like look after it and that, play around with it, take it for a ride and that.
Riding.
Yeah. 2 of your mates were in the stable where your horses.
Not my stable, in the opposite stable.
In the opposite stable.
And I heard them giggling and
They're
getting
messing
up to
about and
something.
that, yeah. You heard them having a laugh. So you thought, right, what are they up to? So you go in, and they're messing about with a Ouija board.
Yeah.
Right. So, this is where you come in. Did you get involved with the Ouija board?
Unfortunately, I did.
Right. And what happened then?
I was like, oh, you don't believe in this? Oh, let me have a go.
Right.
And ask a few questions, put our hands on, and it actually started moving.
So a lot of the stuff you asked it, did the things happen that you
Yes,
asked?
they did.
Right? So that's scary for a start, right? We haven't even got to the ghost bit yet. So you mess about
Trap
with that.
soul,
Yeah.
I like to call
Right,
him.
trap soul. So you're messing about on the Ouija board. You say, right, I've had enough of this now.
Yeah.
I've got all the answers I need.
Yeah.
You go home.
I didn't like them.
You go in the house, and it's a bit nippy.
The flat is absolutely fine. It's when I went into the bedroom. You've got to remember, it's a very, very warm, hot evening.
Right.
And walk into the bedroom and note it is cold, colder than usual. But I'm actually quite glad because it's so hot.
Right, okay.
Completely ignored the fact that the windows were all shut but the curtains were blowing. Didn't sleep well at all.
Right.
Next evening, same again.
Freezing.
Yeah,
When-
very, very noticeably cold.
Curtains blowing.
Yeah, I'm fast asleep, get woken up, the wardrobe's opening.
So at this point, this is where we clear up. You're not on crack. You're not
Oh, never touched drugs in my entire life.
a drinker.
Nope. I will have the odd glass of red wine.
Yeah, right. That's all right. They recommend that anyway. They say it's good for your heart.
What started happening was, as the week progressed, I also felt the bed covers at one point at night fold over, double bed, the bed covers fold over, and it was like someone was getting in the bed next to me. But you've got to remember, when you're in a deep sleep,
Yeah.
you're not quite thinking, and you're thinking, I'm losing it. I was getting more and more tired, more and more a little stressed. I'm really thinking I was having a breakdown. The final straw was when the clothes on the end of my bed that I just throw hit me.
How come you were going back home at night?
Because I was sceptical. In fact, 6 months ago, I would have said, I don't want to go there. People will think I'm mad. But you know what? I don't care.
Yeah.
I know there's more out there.
Oh, brilliant. Well, cheers for that, and thanks for being a guest on Pilkington.
Now, everyone knows over the past sort of like few years, my big pet project, it hasn't been my own career, it's been get Carl famous.
Yeah.
I want people to recognise him in the street, come up to him and say, you bald-headed mank twat. I
Well,
want-
let me tell you now, Rick,
on.
I've been out and about, and a lot of people have come up to me and said, it has Carl Pilkington got a head like a fucking orange?
Well,
and
I've
I've
been-
had to instantly confirm the answer to be yes.
But he's had a call. He had a call recently from a film company asking him if he's got any ideas for movies. Now, how desperate, in what dire straits must the British film industry be that they're going, we need Carl Pilkington. We have hit rock bottom. And he went along for an interview.
So what, and you went in and you...
I went along and had a meeting, and they just said, right, got any ideas? And sort of said, what you thinking? What sort of thing are you after? You after action, thriller, whatever?
Because you can provide any of that.
I love that he's playing it cool, like
Yeah,
you've come to the right person.
yeah,
My
yeah.
time's precious, what do you need?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm Carl Pilkington, the movie doctor, what do you need, Papa?
So thought of this idea sort of on the spot.
Good.
That whiz
Tanny.
by 'em. No, but sometimes that's how good ideas come up, don't
Yeah.
they? Just
So a
random.
lot of yours have come up, yeah.
No, but if you just
Randomly.
talk, I find that your mouth comes out with stuff.
Right, there's another
Right,
quote.
right.
There is another quote. That,
If you talk,
that-
your mouth comes out with...
that to me stands along with what were those things in Gremlins called?
No, but what I mean, if you sit there and try and use your brain to do it,
Right.
it doesn't work the same. Just keep talking. Just keep your mouth talking, and eventually it will come out with something pretty good.
That is exactly what Plato said.
So
So
anyway,
Aristotle, he said, sit down, I've got an idea for you. Aristotle said, Plato, how do I go? Right, just keep talking and eventually your brain will come out with stuff.
so what I thought, I just started off by saying like actors' names and that I thought should be in it, because then that's giving more. It's building.
Right,
Okay,
so who'd you say?
Who'd you say?
So I said, right, I'm seeing Clive Warren,
That's Clive Warren!
Who's Clive Warren?
the one who was in Closer.
Clive Owen.
Clive Owen.
Right, alright.
Did they look at you like you're a fucking idiot?
So they all started trying to figure out, who's this Clive Warren we've not heard about? He must be amazing. He's on
Clive Warren. Get me Clive Warren on the phone. Get me Clive Warren.
And I said, Rebecca De Mornay, right?
What?
Oh, where did that come
She
from?
hasn't been in a film for 15 years, has she?
Clive Warren and Rebecca De Mornay. They thought he was a genius. They've never thought of putting Clive Warren with Rebecca De Mornay.
But hang on a minute, you could have any film star. This is your fantasy casting, and you choose a bloke that doesn't exist and a woman who hasn't been on TV or in a film for 10 years.
Oh God!
Why didn't you choose, you know,
Someone who existed.
J-Lo or someone who's a big
Oh
star?
God! Clive Warren! Oh God! Oh
So
God.
anyway, starts off, and the people, you know, you're seeing into their lives from
Yeah.
like the morning.
Yeah.
So it's like a nice sunny day.
Yeah.
Radio's on. You know, they're going about the day. They're having the breakfast. They're saying, "Oh, what we're doing tonight?" And you're thinking, "Oh, they've got a nice life." She's like, "Love you" and all that. Yeah. He walks out the house, gets hit by a bus.
Oh,
So Clive Warren's
they're
dead.
I don't know if Clive Warren would take that part
because he ain't got much to do, has he?
No, I don't. If I know Clive Warren,
And I think you do.
I think I do. Carry on. So he's hit by a bus. So he's
So
dead.
he's hit by a bus and that. The titles come up.
Oh,
It's got you, right? She's
Starring
devastated. She's
Clive Warren.
fed up. She's devastated and that. Doctor says Clive's dead.
Who's playing the Doctor? Jack Nicholson House.
Sort of. What's that fella who was in Independence Day?
Will Smythe.
No, the old black fella.
Morgan Freeman.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Get him in. He's
Morgan
a
Freeman,
doctor.
yeah.
He says, "Your husband's dead." She's like, "Oh God." What happens then is he says, "But listen, what we can do now, we can take the brain out."
Right.
Right.
And a fact that I'd read that day before the meeting. This isn't in the film now. This is me.
Right, but
Right.
luckily,
Okay.
you
I read
the
a
fact.
thing about how the brain can run on half of it. You've actually got a full brain.
Some
run
of
it
us
on
have.
half. So this was in my mind still.
Well, half your mind, yeah.
So I said, what happens is Morgan Freeman says, "Been working on this. You can run your life on half a brain."
Right.
She's sort of a bit like, "What are you telling me this for now? My husband's just died like 20 minutes ago." And he goes, "Yeah, but if we're going to do this, we've got to act quick." She's like, "Do what?" He says, whilst his brain's not fully dead, because it stays awake for a bit when you.
Oh, he's not dead then. Fine.
No, but
Wait.
he is. But they found out that
Right.
it stays awake a little bit.
No.
So-
No, he's gone.
No,
You're
no.
hit by a bus.
Yeah, no, he's dead. If the brain's dead, you are dead.
Clive Warren's dead.
And if the brain's not dead, you're not dead.
No, but it's like people in a coma. They're dead, aren't they? But the brain is dead.
No, they're in a coma.
No,
They're in a
dead.
coma.
No, come out of coma.
All right, then he's in a coma. He's been hit by the bus, but the chances are he's not going to come out of that coma. But his brain is still awake. So change that. That's easily done.
Hold on though. I like this fact that he's in a coma, so they're going, look, he's definitely going to die in this coma. Take the brain out now. Pop the brain out.
But why is that such a weird thing when that's what they do now? That's what they do now.
What is?
That's what they do.
What?
They do that.
What? A brain transplant?
No, but when, like, how I've signed that donor card,
Yeah.
like, if anything happens to me...
No.
they've
There's
got the
no
lot.
such thing as a brain donor. Oh, we've explained to you before.
Yeah, but they're working on it. They've said something about Einstein. They messed about with his brain for ages, trying to work out if it was full of stuff. That's what they're doing. They're working on that. There's loads of things that doctors are doing that we don't know about. I've seen some weird stuff on the internet.
Yeah, I know you have. Yeah.
I saw a programme on Channel 5 where a monkey brain was still alive and it was stuck on a stick. And they
You were
poked
watching
it.
the Magic Roundabout.
They poked it and it reacted.
Right.
So it's still alive. It's being kept alive, and it's only a matter of time. What's the brain linked up to? As long as you can link it up to the eyes, and somehow so it can tell the arms and legs what to do, you're laughing.
I love that. Imagine a team full of doctors going, well, we're going to try and do a brain transplant. Carl, as long as you can link this up to the eyes and tell the arms and legs what to do, we're laughing. Cheers, Carl. See you later.
Then what happens is they say, "Do you want half of his brain in your head?"
Half of his brain in her head.
She says, definitely not. I'm having you struck off. She starts screaming. She calls the police. He gets
Yeah,
arrested.
but you'd have said that years ago when people can have like someone else's arm put on their body and stuff.
Yeah, but he's only in a coma.
Yeah.
No, but he's not going to come out of that coma.
Right.
So it's like this or nothing. It's
Right.
like, look, you know, what we're going to do here? We can either turn the switch off,
Yeah.
or we can put his head in your head.
But why would
Well,
you?
so
why,
what he does? So what they do then? They're going to take half his brain.
Half of his brain, take out half of hers, pop it in place
Why would she do that?
because she loves him.
But hold on. Well, no, wait. What would she then be?
Because this is what I'm trying to tell you.
Okay. Sorry.
What happens is he explains all this. So I mean, this would probably cover about 20 minutes in the film, but I'm just rushing
I
rushing
switched
it up
off,
now.
but yeah.
No, you wouldn't. This bit would have you. So what?
Well, I'd have actually left when I wouldn't have even gone in to see a film starring Clive Warren and Rebecca De Mornay, unless it was 1985.
So the thing is, she's the same as you. She says the same thing. She goes, "Why would I do that, Doctor?" And he goes, "Well, what will happen is, he's gone, but you'll have his thoughts. So in the morning when you say, oh, I don't know what to have, will I have cornflakes? His bit of the brain will sort of say,
Have a Weetabix.
Have shredded wheat or whatever." And she's like, oh yeah, good idea.
Sorry. So the point of this film is that the dead man can remind her what breakfast cereal she likes.
Yeah. So the thought...
What do you mean, yes? So that's it, is it?
No, that's not the only
Wait,
thing.
wait a minute. This is only Act One.
That's just the first bit. Everything's going well. She has it done.
So who is she? Is she herself?
She's Rebecca De Mornay,
Yeah.
but now
With
and again with him chipping in with a bit of voiceover. So the idea is it's all going well at the beginning, and she's...
So she can't decide what dress to wear.
She's had half of her brain taken out and put in a bin, okay, and Clive Warren's half has been put in there. So now she's walking round, okay.
So she's like a schizophrenic.
No, like I say, the brain is alive, so it's all going well when she leaves hospital.
Yeah.
And she gets a first taste of it, and it's a bit weird to get hold of, because she's sort of... I think when she signs herself out, he's sort of fighting, writing his name and stuff, so there's a few sort of technical things that she has to get used to.
And does Clive's brain
What does
know
he
that
think?
he's now inside her brain?
Does that matter?
Well, I would say it matters because otherwise...
Yes, it does matter, Carl. What's he thinking?
What's
What's the point of this? Why has she gone along with this?
Because she really loves him.
But what's in it for him? What does she think?
Well, say if I died,
Yeah.
and Suzanne said, go on, I'll have half of Carl's, right? She would wake up in the morning to a thought of me sort of going, oh, you never guess what I've just thought about or whatever. I'd still be there. The rest of your body is sort of waste, isn't it?
But Carl,
the rest of your body's sort of waste.
No, it is, kind of. If when someone dies, it's
Yeah.
not that person anymore, is it? You can't have a chat with them. So if you could have someone's brain in your head when they're dead, you'd have it, wouldn't you?
What are you talking about? Why would I have someone's brain in my head when they're dead?
Well, what
I've
else?
got a perfectly good brain.
So you're telling me you wouldn't have it done then?
Of course I fucking wouldn't.
I
Why
can
would I-
also categorically state I wouldn't either.
Yeah, but you're saying that now, but once you're in that position that someone who, you know, you love and that dies, if the doctor said, do you want it?
No!
And you've
I'd go, no! It's madness!
I don't think you
It's
will.
madness!
Red Hot Chili Peppers on XFM 104.9. I'm Ricky Gervais. With me, Steve Merchant. Hello there. Karl Pilkington.
Alright.
Don't be nervous. We might see a difference in Karl. He's a little bit shy. There's someone here from the BBC filming this, part of that celebrity boxing thing. The Fight, I think it's called, and they want to get a little clip of this, so we're gonna let them film for a minute, and then they're gonna go away. Is that alright, Karl?
Yeah.
He doesn't want to be on camera, do you? Do you?
I think it ruins radio, doesn't it? Do you know
Well,
what I
not for
mean?
the people listening, it doesn't.
Yeah, but it does, because people are like, oh, he sounds like a bit of a looker.
What you do?
Yeah. And then they'll see it on the telly, and they'll go, God, yeah, you know, his head is round.
It is round, though, isn't it?
So,
Guess what? I got a call yesterday, you'll love this, Steve. From MTV. And, wondering if, they could screen test Karl.
That's outrageous.
I'm loving it, and I was going, yeah, and I said, yeah, it's fine. I'll come down with him, and I was saying, what about this and that, and they were loving it. I called him up and went, oh no. I went, why not? He went, well, I'm looking at my reflection now in the mirror. He said, I shouldn't be on the telly.
What would you wear for your screen test, Karl? What kind of look would you try and cultivate? Because you've got to bear in mind that the audience out there, they don't know what you look like. So, would you be a snappy dresser like, say, Jonathan Ross, or would you go for your kind of street cash look?
Can't wear a suit. Don't.
You can't wear a suit?
Don't hold it well. So I'm thinking, I don't know, I'll probably wear my woolly hat, because that takes some years off me.
It does, he looks about 10 with a woolly hat on.
Yeah.
Okay.
And,
Is it quite a cool woolly hat, or has it got a bubble?
charcoal, I'd say it's the in colour.
Yeah, okay.
And I'll probably wear me anorak.
Right.
Oh, Oh, he's going for the. He's going for glam.
anorak
He's
look.
going for quite a glam look. Oh,
No one else
dressed
has done
for
it.
a jumble sale. Wow.
But
Yeah.
I'm not that happy about it all, to be honest.
Are you going to do it? You're not going to do it?
Well, I'm sort of stuck in the middle, because throughout my life so far, I've never planned for anything, right? It's just always happened.
Yeah.
The time, you know what I mean, being in plays at school, never planned it, but when I did it, I went down a storm.
It was a
that sort of
triumph.
thing.
Yeah, we all remember that.
So,
As I remember, you did Little Donkey,
did Little Donkey, yeah.
and then later someone was filming at the back. Was it your dad's mate?
My dad's mate. Well,
Yeah. And on the camcorder, he listened to it back, watched him playing it. His dad says, just off camera, what does he say?
I don't want to say it because I'm in charge of the show and I think it'd be irresponsible.
He looks like a right twat.
So,
And so he gets home, lives watching that, and then here's his dad just off camera go, he looks like a right twat.
yeah, alright, yeah.
What are you worried about? Your dad saying that or the
Can I
words?
just interject? Because I'm really worried about this idea of Carl being on MTV. Because the problem is that, you know, let's be honest, Rick. I mean, we're getting by the skin of our teeth, aren't we? Really, it's
Yeah.
only Carl that's keeping this afloat.
Yeah.
And if he gets on MTV and the world sort of gets a sense of him and they understand him, and he won't be ours anymore. We won't be able to control him. It'll be out there. It'll be in the
Well,
public
that's the
domain.
thing. No, that's the thing. That's the terrible thing, though, isn't it? It's like Carl is my pet, but I realise I've got to release him into the wild, sort of. And you know, because I love him, I know he's got to go free.
Sure.
But I
yeah.
wanna. I
It's
want.
like Kez. Maybe someone will beat him to death, and we won't have to worry.
I'll have you on though, I'll have you on as a guest. Which gets me on to something we've got coming up today.
Oh yeah, he's got a new idea.
Yeah?
Right.
Do you know, like, I've talked about ghosts, and we had that good discussion the other week walking to Piccadilly Circus Station, yeah, and I was telling you about ghosts, and you were saying, Carl, don't be an idiot, and all that. I spoke to a woman in the week, done a little interview with
You've
her.
done a little interview.
Done a
Brilliant.
little interview, 2 minutes or so, with a woman who's got ghosts in her house. So,
I look forward to hearing that later. That sounds brilliant.
coming up later.
Well, I'm going to play a classic tune now. I've just gone straight for it. I've gone for the jugular. This is Ziggy Stardust by David Bowie. Ziggy Stardust by David Bowie on XFM 104.9. I'm Ricky Gervais, with me, Steve Merchant, and Karl Pilkington. Carl's also nervous. You had a bit of shock last week, didn't you?
Just a little bit.
His dad tuned in.
To the show.
Yeah. And Carl's never told him that he actually speaks on the show. He just said, I just press the buttons, right? He's kept him from it. It used to be radio before and you never told him, did you? It's because of the little donkey incident.
Yeah.
When he went along and said it.
Was that the twat incident?
Yeah. And so he's never told them since, but they promised not to listen, haven't they?
Well, my mum said to me, don't worry, don't be put off this week, because, you know, I've told him he can't listen, but I hear my dad in the background kind of going, bollocks. So, he might be listening. So that's extra pressure. Plus a camera crew in.
I know. You don't like it, do you?
This is good training for MTV, because then he can watch you on TV, and what's he going to make of that?
Oh.
Yeah.
Does he know you're bald?
Yeah.
You don't keep your hat on when you're with him and say, oh no, I just press the buttons.
No, it's just, you know, it's like when I was in any plays, I didn't tell him.
No.
Any sort of parents' evening, I never gave him the note.
Really?
Yeah.
Then what did the teachers think? You were just an orphan?
No, just on an off chance. My mate's dad spoke to me dad once, I think, and sort of said, oh, you go to school to see how, you know, your kid's doing. Is that what you're talking about? He said, there's a parents' evening, so he
He
went,
said, what kid?
he went to one, and that's when Mrs. Matthews said I'd never be a high flyer.
How wrong was she? I think we should call Mrs. Matthews and make her eat her words.
Well,
She'd turn on to MTV when, I don't know, like their slamming session.
Yeah.
And they're gonna go, that's young Pilkington. He's bald, but it's definitely him.
I recognise that woolly hat.
yeah. Did you see Celebrity Fit Club yesterday?
I missed it. I didn't watch any TV this week. The only TV I watched was, Are You Good in Bed? I already knew the answer.
What was it? You had to have tick points.
Yeah.
Right.
It was no. I was off the scale.
Well, talking off the scales, Rick Waller.
Really? Is he off? What's happened?
what he did is he lost weight and they couldn't believe it. He had a big argument with Harvey and they said go, never come back to it. Right? And then he got to weigh and he'd lost sort of like 10 pounds or something. And they were really They said, you've been starving yourself, haven't you? And he admitted it. And,
I thought he just wasn't wearing his underpants.
yeah. But he was whinging all the time. He was watching it, he was doing a press that was going, I've hurt my arm. He was going, I feel sick. And he was going, and he was just lying all the time about whether he was doing the routine and what he was eating and stuff. And I thought, that's me with this celebrity box. It is, because it's sort of like, and they go, how's it going? Do you have another drink this week? And I go, no. Haven't had a beer this week, no. Did you do the exercise today? And I go, yep. Yeah, I've done all that. Yeah. And I try and get out of the sparring because it hurts, because there's a man hitting me in the face for fun.
Right. Because you know that's what boxing is.
Yeah, that is being hit, yeah. I like all the bits, except the being hit. I don't even mind hitting someone.
Right,
I'd be willing to hit someone. It's the getting hit that I don't like.
Because I know you're a big fan of, like, wearing the clothes, the sort of sporty gear.
I'm looking good,
you look good, and you've obviously switched back there, man.
They gave me this for training. This was free for training.
That's a perk you love.
So,
and I know you like, kind of the sort of various sort of nutritional drinks you've got. I know you're a big fan of those.
I love the protein shake, because it tastes like chocolate. You know what? I've put on a couple of pounds since I've been doing this training.
Nice.
I think it is the extra meal, and
so you're adding the protein, but not working out enough to take it off again.
Yeah, but I think I have actually changed a bit. I've got an inch on my chest, but an inch off my waist. So even though I've put on weight, there must be a little bit of muscle happening somewhere.
So just to recap there slightly, you're enjoying all the trappings of boxing, but not the boxing,
not the getting hit in the nose.
Right,
that's the one.
And you are aware that that's what will be happening during the actual fight.
Because I've got a cunning plan.
Okay,
I'm gonna duck and dive. Bob and weave, dance. I'm gonna dance.
Well, I read in the paper yesterday, I don't know how much truth there is, that Grant Bovey has recruited celebrity hypnotist Paul McKenna to help him win.
Yeah,
so I don't know if that's of any truth, because I know you've got Spit the Dog. You've got a couple of ventriloquists and an impressionist on your side.
I've got Pork Pie from Desmond.
Yeah, exactly.
Just getting me tuned
in your corner
mentally. Yeah. Well, I don't know. It's all a bit of fun.
What do you reckon, Carl? Do you think he's?
What's McKenna going to be doing? Is like Grant Bovey going to be turned into a chicken and? You know what I mean?
He's going to do an Elvis impression.
Yeah.
And take off
if I say the right words.
No, I think he's probably going to just help focus
I think there's lots of sports psychologists out there at the moment getting people. So I'm sure it's valid. If it's true, I'm sure it's fine. But I've been getting tuned mentally, learning how to hit.
Yeah.
That was my method. Eating and hitting, I think, is.
And do you work out to any music? I mean, do you put on the Rocky soundtrack? Because I know you've got a CD with music from all 5 films, haven't you?
No, we don't. I think they have the radio on down there, but you don't hear it. It's all you hear is people shouting, saying things like, "That's not like a fighter," and me going, "I'm not a fighter. I'm a comedian."
And is it quite intimidating down there? I mean, do they?
Yeah.
I mean, I'm sure they're nice people, but
I'm getting used to it now. But it is a different world, and I was quite scared, and I didn't.
When you say, I mean, is it like they're gangsters? I mean, is it kind of?
No,
I just mean, has it got that feel? You know, when you see it in films, they walk into those places, and you know, they're hard nuts, and there's that feel like.
Well, they're all they're all ex-boxers and stuff. So yeah, but no, they're not. No, that's not. I mean,
I suppose it's like they're real men.
Well, yeah, and they don't understand really that I don't like getting hit on the nose. And they say, well, no one gets hit on the nose. And it took me a long time to get over that. Just taking a couple of punches.
Yeah.
I wanted to rule it out. Yeah. And but you know, it's okay now. And of course I know they're mollycoddling me. They're not. They're using about 25% power, and I'm still.
And you wear the headgear, do you?
Oh yeah, and the gum shield. Yeah, I wanted to wear a crash helmet, but they said no. And carry a baseball bat, and they said that's technically illegal. But I'm looking for. I'm a changed man, Carl. What we got coming up?
Got a bit of a Death in Vegas with vocals from Liam Gallagher.
Final question for you, Rick. Do you think you'll carry on boxing after this is finished?
Competitively?
No, just the training and stuff.
Yeah, I do the training. Yeah, no, I love the training. I love learning the skills, and I do enjoy the training. I don't relish getting punched around. And I'm not worried about the fight at all. I'm really looking forward to the fight, because Grant's a novice like me. It's just when you get in with an ex-pro who you know could destroy you so you're scared of it, and you know, they never lose their rag, and they're really cool, and they're really nice, and they've never even hit me by mistake. But even just tapping you like that in the face hurts.
I was walking down Finchley Road yesterday, and a couple of sixth formers said, "Oh, you lanky goggle-eyed freak," and I just wondered if maybe you could pop round and have a word with them.
I will.
Some of your friends.
An enemy of yours is an enemy of mine.
But I said to you the other week about twins and that, how I wouldn't like to have a twin. It's alright when you're a kid, but unless you're a Siamese twin, even they don't even look alike, do they? Just stuck together. You don't go, oh, don't they look like each other? They have different haircuts. They don't carry that thing on, do they? Like normal twins do. Like normal twins, the mums say have the same haircut, wear the same shirt. Siamese twins never look the same. They've just got their arse stuck together.
Again, it's a dialogue in his own head. It's unbelievable. Okay, Carl. This is a logical conundrum. To a certain extent, there's a little bit of lateral thinking because, but there is only one right answer. Now, the pressure here isn't to get this right. The pressure is when I've told you the answer to then understand it. Because when I've explained this to people, I've laid out for them, they still can't quite get the concept. Okay, so there's two doors, Carl.
Yeah.
One leads to heaven, one leads to hell. Okay, they're identical, you can't tell them apart. Okay, 50-50.
Right.
Obviously you want to go to heaven, I assume. Right, there's two guards, identical guards, guarding each door. Okay?
Right.
The one guarding hell always tells a lie. The one guarding heaven always tells the truth. You have to ask one question to find out which is which, and then go through the door you want. What question do you ask?
I've only got one.
Yeah.
And what? One to both?
No, one to either of them. You don't know which one's which, though. So what question do you ask?
Why can't I ask, like, both of them one?
Because it's
Because
not the rules.
are you can only ask one. There aren't actually two doors labelled heaven and hell, Carl. This is a leap of imagination here.
And I've definitely got to answer. I've got to ask them a question. I can't just sort of have a feel of the door to see if there's any heat or anything.
They're identical. You stand a few yards away. You cannot tell from the outside of these doors which is which. What question do you ask?
I can't look through the keyhole or anything.
There's no
Get anywhere
keyhole.
near them.
Um,
Let's imagine there's a small rope that prevents you from getting anywhere near, rather like outside a nightclub.
Yeah.
so they stood there.
Yeah.
They both look the same. They're both smiling,
Yeah.
but one of them's not really smiling. Really, he's trying to make me make a mistake, isn't he?
Well, he's just going to lie when you ask him a question. If you ask him.
So what's the point in asking a question? Do I know one of them's going to lie?
Yeah.
But would they be neighbours like this? Would they be that close? Why?
I mean, we're not sure if these two guys get on.
Okay, it's a logical. Well, I'll tell you the answer.
No, I want to see if he can get it. He's almost there.
No,
No, he's not almost there. What am I thinking?
hang on. Right, so you go up and you
Yeah.
go. You
Right,
go,
hang on. Well, look, let's imagine that. Let's imagine Ricky and I are those two guys. Okay, right?
But we have to. Well, me and Steve will decide which doors we're guarding. Okay.
Right.
I'm.
Look away, Carl.
Okay.
Right,
then.
so we've decided. Okay, one of us is guarding hell and one of us is guarding heaven. Which question you're going to ask and who you're going to ask it to?
Right. I'll just say to you, Steve. I'll go. Got some post for God here.
That's not a question. That's a statement.
Right, you've got some posts for God here.
Well, that's not a question.
Yeah, but maybe the question's coming. You got some posts for God here, yeah.
And it needs to be signed.
It's not a question. Still not a question.
No, let
So
him finish.
is God in? Because I need him to sign for this post. Is he in?
Well, I can answer that as well if you want.
Go on.
He's in. He's behind my door. Do you want to answer it?
Well,
Yes,
Do you,
he's
want,
in.
do you want to get him? Just
Well, no, you've only got one question.
So you're asking Steve, is God in? What's the answer?
Yes.
Ask me. Yes.
look, lads. I'm just trying to do a job here. What am I going to do with this?
Well, give it to me and I'll give it to God because he's behind my door. Steve?
Yeah, give it to me and I'll take it into God because he's behind my door.
You're an idiot. Let me tell you the answer. I'm guarding hell, by the way. I'm the devil. Steve's God, okay? So you asked me what Steve would say if you asked him what door he was guarding, and I'm going to lie. I know he'd say heaven, because he'd tell the truth, but I'm lying, so I'd say he'd say hell. So the question is, if I was to ask the other one what door he was guarding, what would he say? And whatever the person answers is the door they're guarding.
Steve, what door are you looking after?
Well,
Heaven.
yeah.
Why should I believe you?
Because you don't know. No, that doesn't work. Because you asked me the same, and I'd say heaven as well.
Right, so who do I believe? This is where you use your gut feeling, though, innit? This is what life's...
Well, as opposed to the pure logic that Ricky's just used.
I just think, because there's a lot of questions in life where you don't know the answer and you go, do you know what? I don't like the look of him. So...
They're identical.
Yeah, but they're still identical twins. You always get a little snidey one.
Spoke to Ricky and his friend Glyn about art. I just don't get it. Ricky had some odd pictures on his walls. I don't have any pictures up in my flat because of the mirrored wall. But I can't say I'm bothered. The mirrored wall, we should just explain what that is. When you moved into your flat, there was an enormous mirror on one wall, was that right?
We just got this flat, and, you know, it's not a big flat, so I think the people who had it before us, he was a gay fella, right, which was a bit like, oh, so you've been doing with that mirror and that. But that was...
What?
No, just, you know... Just,
What? What has he been doing with the mirror?
Well,
What's he
just
been
a
doing?
bit-
Why-
No,
what?
it's just because they're quite sort of experimental and that, aren't they? And
I don't know. What do you mean? What do they do?
Well, I wouldn't know anything about it, but go on.
No, what do you want? What?
no, I don't.
Experimental in what
What do
way?
you mean experimental?
I just mean, you know, they'd be doing stuff.
What?
Whatever they do.
Chemistry,
What?
chemistry set out, they were doing experiments, what?
No, just doing what.
Singing "I Am What I Am" and just checking out
No,
the
each to
dance
their own. I'm not
moves.
having a go at anyone, but
What?
I'm just saying, like, they're doing what they're doing, which
Carl, you're
is
not
annoying
homophobic,
as well.
are you?
Because,
You're not
no,
st-
I'm not. I'm
What?
not. This is why.
Why are you worried about what a little gay fella was doing in your flat before you got it in front of a mirror?
I wasn't worried about it.
Why
I
are
mean,
you thinking about what he's doing? Why are you fantasising what a little gay fella was doing in front of your mirror in your...
I'm not bothered. I'm just telling you why it was a bit odd that he had a mirror in there, right? But forget the history.
But you've got a mirror in there now, haven't you?
No, because what I did was I was going to take it down, and I thought, oh, it's a bit dangerous. This, you know, it could crack and
Because it's the
fall
size
on
of the whole wall, isn't
it.
it?
It took up a whole wall,
Right.
So like when he's moving about everywhere, he's got a good view of it and that. But he's got this full wall of mirror, and I thought I can't take that down. And I thought, what can I do? So I've just put wallpaper on it,
Brilliant.
and it looks all right. You wouldn't know, what have you? But it means that I can't put any pictures up. That's all. That's all I'm saying. 'Cause I've put a nail in.
And what don't you understand about art? What about art don't you understand? The concept? Specifics?
No,
So-
that's like when we were in London having a shop around at Christmas, and there was that picture of fruit for 700 quid. It's like, well, just get some fruit. You know what I mean? You can get some real fruit for 3 quid.
Yeah.
I understand that, but don't invent cameras then, one or the other. Do you know what I mean? That's what annoys me. Someone invents something, and then they go, we've got to invent something else. Like the abstract thing. Why has someone gone, oh, I can't have paintings anymore because...
What do you think of Dali? Going, melting clocks and stuff? No?
I mean, the first one was alright when he did the first clock, but then all the time he's just like, oh, I'll draw something and it's got a melting clock on it. I'll do a sheep, put one of them on it.
Have you
put a
seen his
clock on
lobster
it.
telephone?
That annoys me.
Why?
Because I think what annoyed me more with that is when I heard about how it happened, he had some artist mate round, right? And I don't know what happened. They were
Okay.
they were eating.
That's a good hell of an anecdote.
No, but they were eating. They were eating some food and what have you.
Yeah.
Lobsters?
And yeah, they were eating lobster.
Alright.
And
That's handy.
I don't know, the other artist, whoever it was, sort
Telephone?
of started saying, "Oh, you and your clocks and all that," right?
Brilliant.
And,
This didn't happen.
They started arguing,
Yeah.
and he chucked some of the lobster.
Bollocks.
And it landed on the
It
phone.
bounced off his mate's head, went on the phone, and they both looked at each other like, "Are you thinking what I'm thinking?" And they brought out that phone as a bit of art. Things like that annoy me because
happen.
it was then just messing
That
about.
didn't happen.
Just telling you what I know. I saw his work. Each to their own, if that's what he's doing. I'm just saying, I'm not putting my stamp of approval on it. Art should be there to tell a story, not just to have a splash of colour. We know.
Well, Suzanne wife likes some art. Just like Suzanne's not allowed to watch telly unless it's a favourite thing. Otherwise, she's got to talk to me about stuff. There's no art. There's no point. Just wallpaper.
I'm just saying, we've got three windows we can look out of.
Right.
Right? Stop looking at the walls. Look out the window.
My mum phoned and said that my Auntie Nora, classic Auntie Nora, wanted me to look on the internet to find out what the weather will be like in Spain at the end of November. I don't know where she gets her money from. 2 months ago, she was asking me Dad how much it would be to get her back garden astroturfed because she's sick and tired of the grass getting out of
What does she
hand.
want to do? Start a football team? What does she want to back garden AstroTurf?
She likes the sort of green look, but she doesn't like the headache that comes with it, so she's just looking into getting that false grass put in there.
Brilliant.
Don't know how much it is.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Carl, more people from your past. Debbie Carr?
Yeah, she was another nice one.
What does that mean? Is that a euphemism?
No, she was one of them that you'd sort of go, she's nice, but she'd never be your girlfriend. Do you know what I mean? She was,
Not really.
even though she was in the same year, she seemed a lot older.
Right.
And like,
Wasn't a teacher, was it?
there was 3 of them who all hung together, and they seemed to hang around like the older kids, the ones who looked like men. Do you know what I mean? They had
What
like
did you look like then?
Well, it's just that I had youthful sort of looks, whereas like the older ones had like beards and stuff.
It's the gang of boys in the 5th form with beers. Were they smoking pipes? Come over here, me filly. Oi, Debbie Carr, come over here, you little beauty.
No, but she was like,
I love that. They were hanging around with beers. There's the big boys. Oh, fishing. Lovely beers. What do you
I
mean?
just see a whole row of George Bernard Shaws. Brilliant.
How do you do in history, boy? Think on E. You're an idiot. Oh.
they were like, you know, I'd be there sort of playing punching people in the arm. Cause we used to play that
Oh,
at
that's a
school.
great game.
Oh, I love that, punch people in the arm.
Is that part of the Olympics now?
it's I think it was exhibition this year.
Right.
But it's
going to be a pro next
it's going to be the Winter Olympics because you've got to do it in just a cap sleeve shirt in winter. Yeah.
So you're often playing that?
She, but whilst I
But
was
she didn't
doing
appreciate that. She used to go, ow!
that, I always think whilst I was doing that, they were like the Charlie's Angels and they'd be sorting out a mission somewhere. Because they were really like, there was something about them that you thought, you know, yeah, they're special.
They were private detectives.
What do they work for a man they never see?
Okay, well, here's a name I'm interested in because, well, let me just tell you the name first. Adam Clifton. Oh. Go on, what are your thoughts on Clifton?
He was one of them kids, he was alright, but he had that thing when, if you didn't have enough milk, he had like, wrinkly hands and like white bits in his nails.
Oh!
Because you didn't have enough milk.
Yeah.
So therefore, you didn't like him because you didn't get enough milk.
This is not to be confused with the 2 people with the big heads and the webbed feet, is it?
Webbed hand.
Well, this was
I
interesting.
know that they weren't related. They must have been somewhere along the evolutionary sort of trail. Do you know what I mean? They must have come from the same sort of stock.
But you wouldn't have liked him. He's just one of them people. He was alright, but
Well, before you say any more, on Friends United, you can leave a little message which explains what you've been doing and what your life's like now. And most people leave maybe 2 paragraphs.
Yeah.
Adam, I've printed it off. He seems to have printed. I think there's about 6 pages here of stuff. He keeps updating it, and he just basically lists his memories about everyone. Okay, at the school and what he thinks of everyone. And he says, I often see Simon. He's doing alright for himself. Self-employed illustrator. Mark Cooper. Karl Pilkington.
Right.
And your name comes up. Now, I don't know if you've told us this story. I think you may have done, but I can't remember the facts about it. It just says Karl Pilkington with his pet bird. Was it a magpie? I can't remember. He brought it to school to show everyone, and it flew away.
Oh God! Oh no, they do that, don't they? You
True.
show them
What was the story then,
You
Carl?
give them seed and they just leave. What do you mean?
Well,
This sounds like Kez.
well, that's it. I was a big fan of Kez, and it was the time our dog had just died.
Yeah.
So I didn't have any pets, and the cats were always getting run over.
Yeah.
And so we didn't want any more pets.
Yeah.
But there was a magpie that used to fly about on the estate, and I managed to sort of tame it. And in the end,
With a chair and a whip. What do you mean you tamed it?
Well, just used to sort of hang around it and talk.
But how did you
to
get
it.
hold of it? Did you catch it?
Well, eventually, yeah, it used to just come to me, and the annoying thing was, it got to a point when I wish I hadn't bothered, because it used to pop me bike tyres. It used to sit on like, if I was talking to my mates and I was on my grifter.
I love how he just throws things in.
It's like an Alan Bennett play.
It landed on my tyre, and it used to peck at the tyre and pop it, and then it used to then never go away, so it was always like around the house, and my dad said never bring it in. So he used to sit on the porch, and I used to go out, and it used to fly down and land on my head, and it really hurt. It used to like peck and stuff.
He thought it was a tyre.
So it wasn't so much tamed as a stalker.
Oh God!
So you took it to school and it flew away?
Yeah.
So did you take it in proudly going, look at my magpie? Oh.
Yeah.
Oh
But
no!
I think it got a bit confused in the area that it was in, because I used to just keep it sort of around our estate, but
Sure.
the school was a bit of a distance away.
How did you get it there?
So, tying it on my finger.
Did you walk?
Yeah.
Wow.
So it was happy there, and then it got to...
But it used to be one of those things that people would stop me in the street and sort of go, "Oh, what's that?"
And I don't suppose
Maggie, called it Maggie.
you didn't get Charlie's Angels to go and find out what happened to it? Investigate?
Were they impressed?
Not really.
No.
But
Listen,
go on. Any.
Carl, let's come back to it, mate. Let's come back to it. Let's have a hip-hop hooray track. It's the big hip-hop selection from Big Steve Merchant. I don't know what I'm talking about there. Just trying to sound hip. This is Spearhead from many years back. A track, again, I think got largely overlooked at the time, but worth hearing again. People in the Middle. Spearhead, People in the Middle. Michael Franti, surely one of the greatest rappers, I think. He's just, if you've ever heard him bust it live, Rick, he's almost as good as me.
I'm just going to tell the listeners there, Carl is quite a little insecure sort of chap. And he was just worried about that last bit. He was going, who would ever find that interesting? He was worried about people finding him boring. And Steve said, as I said, you know, it's like an Alan Bennett thing. He went, yeah, but, you know, no one would care about Alan Bennett if he wasn't such a hit maker. They wouldn't care what he had to say. And we just looked at him for a while and he went, thinking of Tony Bennett. Bless him.
Listen, it's almost the end of the show, Carl.
Oh, yeah.
And it's really been a Carl special.
This is a Carl special, yeah.
Well, next week, we'll lay off
next week. We have to
We're not going to,
he wants to retire a little bit, just,
Well, those old lottery numbers might come up tonight anyway.
You might, what are they again? What's the 4 you've got with?
Put them away now.
What? Come on, well, give us all 6.
No.
Why?
Carl, while you're rummaging for that,
5, 9, 12 and 26.
a few more names that you may recall from Friends Reunited.
Go on.
Lisa Shufflebotham? Do you remember her?
Yeah, she,
Was she one of Charlie's Angels?
no, she wasn't that nice, but she wanted me. her and her mate Rachel, I remember, I don't know why, but it was some sort of PE lesson where it had to be a bloke and 2 girls, and they were fighting over me.
Could you hear what they were saying?
They were just like, I want him, and I was loving it. Stuck in the middle, and they were fighting over me. And then the next week, I thought I'll sit near them.
What sort of game do they play at his school?
I don't know.
That's an incredible game.
But I think
Punch me on the arm. No, punch me on the arm, Carl.
They just went through it. Because the following week, I thought, right, I'll sit near them again, because I quite enjoyed the way they fighted over me. But then they picked somebody else, and I don't know who I was with that week.
So you didn't get any action with Shufflebotham or a friend?
No. And then as she got older, she went a bit off. She didn't look that good. She's probably nice now. It's just, I mean, I'll say about myself, when you get to sort of the end of secondary school, you do sort of go a bit odd looking.
Right.
Do you know what I mean? When your sort of head grows funny.
I would just love to go back to his school of that era. I mean, just what happened to people, whether, you know, all people sprouting limbs.
No, do you know what I mean? When you're like 12 and that, you quite, no, not 12, when you're 10, when you're 7 to 10, you sort of look healthy, and you look at your pictures and you go, yeah, I was a good looking lad. But then when you get to late secondary school, something happens.
Yeah.
And you just look a bit odd.
Okay, well, what about Alison Thorpe?
Not sure about her. I sort of know the name, can't put a face to it.
Damien Comer?
Again, know the name.
Yeah.
Can't remember anything.
No.
Yeah.
It's a shame. Well, those are pretty much all the names I could find. We've had some interesting thoughts, though, and interesting anecdotes.
Yeah.
Anyone in particular that you'd like to say hello to that maybe listening now that
No, I think I would have mentioned Darren Buckley if you hadn't brought him up.
Oh, right.
He was like me buddy.
Yeah. Did you ever see the Magpie again when you took it to the school and confused it?
No.
You're joking. That was the end of it, was it?
Yeah.
So where did it go?
Probably to some other kid. Because I mean, actually, it probably got killed. Because if it was being that friendly with other people, some people might have took advantage of it.
In what way?
Well, there was a programme on the other week about...
What, in the way that Shufflebotham was trying to take advantage of you?
There was a programme on the other week about bear whisperers.
Yeah.
And some blokes got really friendly with a bear, and then when they were leaving that area where the bear was, they said, oh, we've caused a problem here, because there's some bear hunters coming in and moving into this area, and it's going to get a bullet if it acts like this, so they had to scare it away, and that's what I should have done with Maggie. I should have terrified it a little bit, so it wouldn't trust humans.
Just introduced you to some of your schoolmates, I'm sure, would have freaked it right out.
Well, the ones with
Maybe that was why it fled.
It didn't see. Oh no! It didn't see those 2 fellas with big heads and webbed hands coming towards it, did it?
That would have terrified anything. It's like a scarecrow, like 2 walking scarecrows. Listen, have we got time for a song for the ladies? What's happening? We've not really thought.
Quick then, quick, just do it. Thanks very much.
Well, hang on, no, we haven't lined anything up, have we?
I was going to play Mary Lawson and that for you. And then
Is this going to be the final track?
Wait, after
Yeah, it would be, yeah.
We've blown it. We've blown it on the Carl special.
We have indeed.
I'll play it next week. So Carl there's got an E at history in GCSE. Any history teachers, anyone who can help Carl out, I think we should try and register him and take it this June. So,
So what's your homework for this week?
You've got to read about Che Guevara, haven't
Yeah.
you? The revolutionary leader.
Okay.
Do you know anything about him at all? Have you got any basis?
I just know that if you want to use his face on your business, it costs a lot of money. Do you know, like, if McDonald's wanted to have him as, like, instead of Ronald McDonald?
How does he do it? Steve, how does he do it, man?
Oh, we listen. Just play a final record, Carl. Say goodbye, and we'll see you next week.
Alright.
See you later.
Cheers, mate.
Oh,